What's up guys, today we're going to be finally going over the Lionfish, which might just be the perfect and best fusion in the entire game. This thing has every perk you would ever want on a fusion for PvE, has some really cool tricks you can do this season, and has pretty good special weapon DPS. So we'll be talking about all three of those points in this video. So starting off with the perks on this weapon. It's another weapon this season that has just a lot of great options. You really can't go wrong with a lot of these things. So we're going to be talking first about the 3 damage perks I would recommend in the right, and that's going to be Controlled Burst, Reservoir Burst, and then Elemental Honing. And most of the perks on this weapon are going to work obviously really well with Reconstruction to double the mag size. And this weapon normally has a 7 mag, and with really anything at all, it'll go up to 8. So Backup Mag takes it to 8, Reservoir Burst takes it up to 8, and 8 is the cap. And I would recommend a magazine perk if you're not using Reservoir, so like Enhanced Battery or Ionize, both will take it up to 8. And that's going to be really important to free up our mod slot for later in the video, one of the tricks on this weapon. But first, looking at DPS of those 3 damage perks. First, with Control Burst, this will be a 20% damage increase and a 10% rate of fire increase, taking DPS to 1072, so pretty good for a special weapon. And then with Reservoir Burst, my personal favorite fusion perk, this will be a 25% buff as long as we're above the base mag of 8. And so with Reconstruction, we can shoot off technically 9 in a row, and DPS is just a little bit lower, but there's going to be benefits to that perk, which we'll talk about here in a bit. And finally, last one's going to be Elemental Honing. This will be 35% with ×5. Obviously the highest DPS on the weapon, but the most work. And pairing that with Reconstruction to shoot off most of your entire reserves without reloading is also going to be pretty good for DPS for a special weapon. So overall, between those 3 perks, I think they're all very good in different situations. Elemental Honing will obviously be the best for just pure DPS. Controlled Burst, I think, is going to be better just for general play, killing champions, and things like that. And finally, Reservoir Burst is still going to be pretty good for DPS as long as you're above the base mag. And as we mentioned, you can pair that with Reconstruction, but the one I have has Subsistence also. And the reason why this combo is so good on this weapon is because if you build it into ammo generation, so for example, using abundant ammo to get 10 more ammo generation on the weapon itself, throwing on a special ammo finder, a stasis ammo generation perk on our chest, and finally a stasis scavenger, you can truly use this weapon as your primary. So it takes roughly 6 kills to get a special ammo brick. Every brick with the scavenger will give you 4 ammo back. So getting 6 kills and 4 ammo with Reservoir Burst and the explosion really isn't that hard, and I think you'll have no problem doing that. So you can really use this weapon as your true primary with this new ammo system if you just build into it slightly. And we're not even going like full out. You can double up on both of the ammo perks, double special finder, double stasis ammo generation, and get the ammo even quicker. So really, if you build into this ammo system, I might make a video about it. You can really make any special weapon or even really any heavier like primary and have true infinite ammo. And with Reservoir Burst and Subsistence or Reconstruction, you can run around and just use this in as much as you want, and that's pretty cool for my Verity's Glacier Grenade build on Warlock. And you could pair it with Icebreaker. Still, Icebreaker has infinite ammo in that build, shooting at all the crystals and frozen targets. And then you could just use the fusion as your primary in place of a hand cannon or whatever else. Or you could still use Graviton Spike in the energy slot, which has the stasis mode, and kind of double dip stasis weapons and kind of cheat the system. And the final perk in the right I want to talk about is going to be Chill Clip, the classic for fusion rifles. This did get nerfed to taking 3 shots on this frame to freeze. But with Reconstruction, where we can shoot off 12 to 13 minimum in a row with Chill Clip, it's still very good. And its DPS is the lowest we've shown off so far, but not that far behind. It's going to be more about utility, and this is obviously great for Overload champions. Combining with Elemental Daze from the artifact, it almost one-hits them on light. And then even for other champions like barriers, this weapon is just really good. With Controlled Burst or Reservoir, you'll 2-hit them on light. Then even under light with Chill Clip, you'll freeze them on the 3rd and usually avoid them putting up their shield. So it's a pretty good champion weapon overall. But this is where the major trick this season comes into play. We have these seasonal weapon mods. The one for this weapon will be Temporal Loader. This weapon loads an increased amount of ammo from reserves when dealing damage to targets that are slowed, frozen, or suspended. So combining that with Chill Clip makes a lot of sense, and whenever this procs, which there is a slight cooldown on it, you'll get 2 ammo back to the weapon from reserves, making it so even from just a base mag of 8 with Chill Clip, we can shoot off all of our reserves with the perk. And this not only works for Chill Clip if you have a build like Bleak Watcher, or really any stasis build that will slow or freeze stuff. With any perk on the right, you can make it so you can just shoot off all your ammo without reloading, just starting from an 8 mag, which means we don't necessarily need Reconstruction this season. It's still probably the best perk overall, but you could instead use something like Rhymestiller with a stasis build to get more stacks of Frost Armor. You could even use Proximity Power to get the 50 melee stat, or probably the best, you can use Lead from Gold. You get even more ammo with this weapon when you pick up heavy ammo bricks, making it truly infinite ammo if you build into the special side of it through your armor mods also. So just like the Verity Glacier build, with this weapon mod, it works really well with the old classic Getaway Artist and Bleak Watcher Feed the Void build on Prismatic. So overall, this fusion really has everything you would ever want on it. And let's just narrow it down to a few rules. You could mix this up a little bit, but Subsistence plus Reservoir Burst would be great for just pure Act Clear in the Infinite Ammo loop. Then we could run Lead from Gold and Chill Clip this season, and still avoid reloading with the Temporal Loader, and have a better ammo economy. And then we could use Reconstruction plus Controlled Burst or Elemental Honing for the higher DPS and sustained DPS. And yeah, this weapon is just really strong this season, and definitely worth grinding and using. Let me know which role you want down below. In this video will just be some gameplay with one of the 2 builds I mentioned in this video. First video of this entire DLC where I haven't made it to 8 minutes with commentary, but YouTube is YouTube, so leaving some gameplay at the end. And like usual, thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys next time.